All right, and so my family, just like how we've been telling just now today, that we get forget a special guest now we missed. Of course, we get a guest right now. Of course, not the other person, the presidential candidate for the National Democratic Alliance in the person of Mr. Mohamed Siba. Of course, na man we be done to talk plenty sided on issues bordering on how Sierra Leone as a country for move forward. Of course, now that make we get a passion for even run for the highest political office in Sierra Leone. And of course, as we know, the National Democratic Alliance, not a new party in Sierra Leone, it be done they participate in the democratic process since Sierra Leone returned to multi-party democracy back in the 90s. And of course, this now a party where they move things then steady. And so the person way now then young presidential candidate now we're going for talk to today exclusively from Sherrick's Broadcast Network. And so one for Leone sit by as we talk to Mr. Mohamed Siba. Hello, Mr. Ba. How you do, sir?
I do fine. Mr. Ibrahim Sheriff.
Yes, sir. That's good. Welcome to Sherrick's Broadcast Network. Of course, what a delight we'll get for welcoming you for let's talk on some of the issues in Sierra Leone. Of course, the last time we'll talk to you now a couple of years ago, we'll be just run the radio, and of course, today we'll get an interview. Then will be a very good one. You know, so we don't follow you quietly in the background as how you run politics in the country, and so I understand say you are all set, ready to go back home. So when you left?
Well, very soon. Okay. They left very soon. And first of all, I want to take this opportunity for congratulate you. I know say the last time we do interview, it was a radio interview.
Right.
So now, I mean, such an honor, a privilege for be part of the success we accomplish.
Thank you, sir.
For able to bring the issues affecting Sierra Leone on the screen. And so I want to congratulate you and your staff for that accomplishment.
Thank you very much, sir. I really accept that happily. And so, Mr. Ba, you know, person way, you know, from the last time we made you two the talk, you know, person we're very passionate about, you know, Sierra Leone, and in fact, now that make way to run for this public office. And some of the things that way they bother you, now the kind of corruption at the country, now the way the country they move forward. You're very passionate about the future of the youths, and so now that you go back to the country, give me a small status update on the National Democratic Alliance as a political party.
Well, like you said earlier on your introduction, the National Democratic Alliance is one of the oldest political parties in Sierra Leone. We don't take part in almost 2 election cycles now, and a party way is over 20 years old now. So it don't represent women, it don't represent minorities. The NDA, a party way, it don't articulate a lot of the aspirations them. Where the citizens of Sierra Leone always the yearn for. So we've been on, in fact, when at the party where earlier we conduct the National Delegate Conference, then elect me as the leader and the flag bearer for 2018. So now, 3-4 months to the election now, with the gear up, we're ready for create a very surprising upset, win the elections, winning both presidential, parliamentary and council seats.
Wow, I like that confidence. And so based on your own assessment, based on your analysis of the political situation of the country, you are very confident for saying the National Democratic Alliance will be the one who will win the election of the country.
Absolutely, Mr. Sheriff, because the people of Sierra Leone for almost 56 years don't understand, say, there is a need for change.
Okay.
The people of Sierra Leone don't know, say, you know what, they're ready for try something different. So NDA position itself right now for able for campaign to the people, for share with vision, the growth strategy where we get, how for able for move the economy, how for able for create employment for young people how for able for improve the educational system, the healthcare, you know, building a self-sufficiency agricultural economy, and a host of other things then. We get very outstanding programs then, where we go campaign during the campaign time, and I know say we go win the hearts and mind, and at the ballot we will get a resounding victory by the grace of God.
Okay, that's good. And so when you run for offices like this, I know say it involves quite a lot, you know. So waiting as some of the main issues then where you feel say when they go down swear you in as the president of Sierra Leone, where you step into State House on day one, waiting as some of the issues then where you go on for tackle right away.
Well, one of the first issues then where I go on for tackle is they change the direction, they change the mood of the nation. First, creating a sense of reconciliation, creating a sense of nationhood. What do I mean by that? They be a president where every Sierra Leonean, it no matter if na north you come out, na south you come out, na east you come out, we are one Sierra Leone. And they set that tone there. Number one, when they begin to put together the cabinet, the government, it will look like Sierra Leone. It will be the first time in the history of Sierra Leone where we get a government that looks like Sierra Leone. Right there, the people of Sierra Leone go understand, say, oh, you know what, this man here, it mean business. Right. Okay? And they reassess and reevaluate all the programs of the previous government. Look at them, evaluate them, okay, and begin for determine which one are they take. I mean, there are so many problems. There are so many problems. Looking at, first of all, how for make we able to create a sustainable energy security in the country. I they look at them, I say, you know what, I know say with the focus on this hydro and thermal energy. So I will immediately instruct me ministry of energy and say, you know what, I need a diversification plan here. Look, I want to even look at what we need for forget coal, forget other source of energy, cheap form of energy. Okay, I will begin to look at an economic overview. What I need for do for stabilize the economy? What I need for do because after the Ebola and after the mudslide, the economy don't shrink. With the economy don't shrink, the economy not they perform. So I go able to get an economic team we go able to assess them in a day and begin for see what's in the way forward. So I get a host of things here. But the first directive what I will do is I want to make for the first time that we begin to think as Sierra Leonean. For say I'm a president that is for all Sierra Leonean. My government is going to look like Sierra Leone. It therefore encompass a multi-ethnic government, a government of national unity. Right. That's get the first order of business. Well,
you know, we're plenty of people that keep talk say time not day for begin for assess the problems that the country. They say you where they run for be president of the country, the highest political office, you for not able for assess things there by now because it's like a sprint start. People are drowning. Now, people that need somebody when they take that office, they right away you begin for implement, you know, because during the campaign you are working on strategies and all of that. So people that when they talk like that, what you go be your response to them?
Well, I tell them, say, look, for they outside and see the operation of government, it's different when you sit down at the seat as the president of Sierra Leone. The way how you get for see things is completely different. It's like winning the election is different from governing. That's always, if you look at all over the world. So now two different challenges will get here. You get one challenge, first of all, to win the election. And then you get another second challenge of how can you govern. So when you govern, I mean, it's a lot of moving parts then where you get for look at and put together. But it's very clear. It's very clear. One immediate thing where I get for look at now this issue of corruption. Corruption, it's a serious problem. It's not a problem when yesterday business it don't happen. It don't happen for a very, very long time. Ibrahim Sharif. Right. The issue now is how I go able for tackle that. You understand? Right. Number one, try for create the leadership. When I say the leadership, for sure say, you know what, this man we don't cancel, you know, is serious about corruption. Is serious about ensuring that every priority programs that the people of Sierra Leone they look forward for enjoy, it's made possible. How? First of all, not to for look at corruption like what we don't see for the past 30-40 years old. Anti-corruption commission where it less effective, passing legislation where the legislation, I mean, it's not enforced, but for begin to build stronger institution or even the existing institution for make them strong. So one of the first things, like I've said in Sierra Leone, is it is time for we begin for digitalize the entire government record. It is time for we begin for create a transparency, because we want to put trust on individual, we need to put trust on institution. It is time also, like I said, for even begin to look at seriously the conditions that create poverty, because these are some of the things that leads to corruption. How we get to look at the civil servants, the military, the police, okay? Ensure, Ibrahim, that we look at their salary structure. See, is there a need for make we increase that? What kind of incentive do we need for create where we go able to discourage people from engaging in the act of corruption? So it takes so many legged solutions for tackle that. But you know what? Corruption, now one of the biggest problem, because billions of leones are wasted in corruption. Corruption, in fact, to me, now one of the worst thing that's happening to Sierra Leone. Because whenever a system is corrupt, nothing is going to get done. And we don't see them for the past 3-4 decades. So this now one of me big fights are willing to embark on for bringing change in Sierra Leone.
Well, you know, Mr. Ba, plenty of people like you say, you know, every politician, you know, at least for the past decades or 2 decades, and way they run for position at Sierra Leone, they can always talk, say, when una elect me, I dey fight corruption at Sierra Leone, or I dey do this, I dey do that. People are used to promises where politicians, especially presidential candidates, them. And so the waiting lacking is the how you go do them, how you go able to get rid of corruption. We don't become endemic in every fabric of the country. How will you do it?
The sense of patriotism where I get in my heart,
right?
The desire for able to bring change na salon.
Okay.
The need for look at how much as a public servant for able for impact the lives of the people then. You know, me now a new generation of politician. I always can say I happen for born after independence. I not serve in any political office in Sierra Leone. But one of the things why I believe can make a difference is the fact that I have been exposed to another culture, another society where I don't learn about transparency and integrity and the sense of responsibility. Okay? And I talk for myself that if I get an opportunity for sit at the highest office in Sierra Leone, I will make sure, because of that political determination they will get, that sense of patriotism they will get, I believe say I will make a difference in reducing corruption. So it's not about what you say. They believe that I love Sierra Leone. The fact that I owe Sierra Leone, I want to give back to Sierra Leone. The fact that I have a culture and a value instilled in me, even from my primary school to my secondary school. I believe that kind of personality will allow me for like able to fight this menace where it don't destroy with society even more than Ebola.
Right. And so, Mr. Ba, so plenty other things than the way what can you talk to politicians at your level? What can you always ask them is that you know, they say when me papa die, I get for split the sky open. Why you papa they alive? You want for crack that sky they first let we know say you mean them. Now I want for know waiting are some of the issues where you feel say this current government, when at the APC government don't perpetrate in the country, and waiting you don't do about those things. Have you spoken out against then policy implementations by the APC? What you don't do for stand up to the current government?
Well, NDA is a political party, and the existence of a political party, Ibrahim, is for able for shape the will of the people, for able to represent people that are voiceless, for able to represent those that cannot represent themselves.
Right.
So the NDA as a political party, don't they articulate a lot of the aspirations of the people of Sierra Leone? For example, the issue of jobs, we very concerned that even the young people, Ibrahim, within the commode na college, common university, then parents them struggle very hard for invest in them so that they will able to finish college. Then they come down without the opportunity to follow them work. Then the language, a lot of them they way, if you go meet them, then sit on a tire base. So what we don't do for the past 2-3 years is articulate with vision for Sierra Leone, for say the issue of providing a job opportunity for young people, let me paramount. So what we want to do is that we want to try for encourage a foreign direct investment. We want to look at the educational system when we have the opportunity to do that, for able for create the avenue where then we're able to invest in technology, help for create new skills so that we're able to use those ready skills then. On the issue, for example, how we for work for strengthening we institutions, and because we believe that some of the problems in Sierra Leone is that the institutions are very, very weak. How to strengthen them. We also don't focus on how, in fact, the rule of law, we will make sure it is maintained, an independent judiciary, a strong military. So we have always been on the forefront, Ibrahim, for articulate the issues, the democracy, what we believe say it will help Sierra Leone move forward.
And so if I can ask you, Mr. Ba, you know, waiting will be some of the policy implementations by the All People's Congress government over the past 9+ years where you know really agree with, and waiting at some of them where you agree with, you know, regardless of the fact that you are in opposition.
Well, Ibrahim, like any government, there are some things that they are doing good. There are some things that they are not doing good. You know, when we go back to history, the President Tijan Kaba's government been faced the challenge of stabilization because of the war, and also focus on rehabilitation and help for rebuild Sierra Leone. So when this current government came, then challenge was now how them for make gain of some of the things that has been put in place. I think on the issue of road construction, there is some good amount of improvement, which means that a lot of some of the highways them have been, you know, been focused on making some pavement. There is a lot of need in terms of feeder roads. Okay, energy security. I think the government has done some improvement in ensuring that there is energy security, but it has not been sustainable. That is the issue. On the issue of healthcare for lactating mothers, I think those are some good benchmark where we can look at. But you know what? There are other areas that needs to be worked on. In the areas of helping to reduce corruption, in the areas of helping to ensure that the institutions are strong, in the areas of helping to improve the economy. So I think government is an ongoing process. Government, I think it's a process where one set of people come, make their mark, and then the other set of people come and make good on it and continue the process. So that's such a mixed opinion in my humble perspective.
Right. And so so Mr. Ba, you know, they run for be I mean under the National Democratic Alliance as their presidential candidate because of the fact that you know, you just want for the APC, then time of office done, and you want for, you know, be the next person who will be president, or not something where this government don't do, where really don't spur you into action, where you say, you know what, we don't need this in Sierra Leone, I'm going to step in.
Well, now Ibrahim, I run for the highest office in Sierra Leone because I believe, say, I get a better vision. I believe, say, I have a better program. I believe say I have what it takes for able to make Sierra Leone go forward. Number one, I want for diversify the economy.
Okay.
I'm not happy that we focus on this mineral-based type of economy. Now, only iron ore, diamonds, now the only source of revenue where they able to help for the economy grow. I want to look at with GDP sector. For example, if you look at with service area, it's very low. If you look at with industrial area, it's very, very low. So one of my aspirations why I run for the highest office is because I want work for improve those areas, such as the service area, such as the industrial area, and such as the agriculture, so that we'll go able to get direct foreign investment, so that we young people them go able to get job opportunities, then we able to get income and able to support them family. Because when you get job, Ibrahim Sharif, it's a dignity for you you able to take care of your family.
Right.
So another reason why I run for the highest office, why I believe say I have a better idea, is because I want to move Sierra Leone in a better direction.
Okay.
I want help for able for reduce corruption, so that we will able to get a sustainable fiscal cash flow. We'll go able for address some of those national priority projects them where we not get for depend on IMF or World Bank. We able self-fund some of those programs. I believe say I get the leadership, I get the temperament, I get the judgment for able to do that. I want help for rebuild those institutions in Sierra Leone. The judiciary, okay, the civil servants, civil service area, with military, with police, okay, those institutions. I want to change the educational trajectory in Sierra Leone. Okay, I believe say we still there back to the 70s and 80s type of education. Fabe College as a university, as an institution today, could you imagine not get an electronically functioning library? Fabe College today as a university need for get a lab center where students then when they study science able get the opportunity for able to go on hands for able to do their job. Okay, I want to bring technology into the educational system. Ibrahim, it's so funny. There was one kid where we chairperson in North America, Masiri Young, we go. He decided to sponsor this young kid now one primary school. Could you believe that same primary school system where we go when they go register we Panda book? Now that same thing. I want to see a computer-based type of learning in Sierra Leone, from primary school all the way to college. So I want to infuse technology into those schools. So there is a lot of things that I want to do where I believe say I have what it takes for able to make Sierra Leone become a better country.
Right. Yeah, Mr. Bar, give me a second. Okay. So, Mr. Bar, so if I understand you very well, you know, when you talk just now in some of the videos, then why I don't watch, where you talk on digitizing most of the operations in Sierra Leone. I know say your government will be heavily dependent on the use of you know, digital instruments, materials, and the internet. And so right now we know say they say Sierra Leone we don't get this fiber optic, but we don't know what they go on with this fiber optic in Sierra Leone, where in fact will be the fastest internet service in the country. But right now, as I'm speaking to you, and by your own experience, where you did not Sierra Leone, even for make you go download common data where you go able for use for like you know, they on Skype with you know business people and other things them. It's not possible. But the one way they work in our government, we can Skype with them. It's so easy, it's so clear how they're able to talk with them. So waiting that you approach to making sure that every Sierra Leonean get access to affordable, you know, internet service in the country.
Well, again, that comes to the program where we get where for make Sierra Leone go technology. Before I answer that question, let me give you a good background here. This was an issue I take up in Sierra Leone about NatCom them position in terms of those mobile service company. Right. Do you know say calls then asalo when somebody make calls, they didn't hear you call and the call not they go through. When the person call you, the calls they drop. Okay. In other words, there is a poor quality of service.
Right.
Okay, NATCOM as an institution where they regulate that industry, they give them a mobile company a pass say, let them increase the tariff on the services them. Okay, then one after 3 months, if they don't see any improvement, then they will take action. I was opposed to that position there. My position what I be maintained was first. This mobile company get for show make good on the fact that their service is being improved, call drop down minimized, the cost of making calls in fact has been reduced before they think otherwise. You know, one of the burning problems with the face Sierra Leone, Ibrahim, is making phone calls, buying data is expensive. Right. We young people are not even get income, they don't even get job. So how possible is that? Okay, now the issue of fiber optics, they say fiber optics there, but do you know for download or receive text or receive messages them is a problem? So I need to review that. If I get an opportunity for hold the IS office, first for go through a stress test and see what's in the reliability and what's in the strength of the fiber optic, if it's one. And see how we go able to get an up to par so that it will provide the capacity that we need. Okay, and also I will do them in sync with providing the energy security by diversifying with energy sector. Okay, so it's a lot of hands-on approach we get to do, but I'm very concerned at this time that poor young Sierra Leoneans them they spend a lot of money just to make calls. Poor young Sierra Leoneans them out there cannot even download messages or send videos because of the quality of the service them. So NATCOM now one of the institutions where I will make sure we overhaul, make them able to regulate these mobile service company so that the people of Sierra Leone go benefit and enjoy the service.
Right. And so, my family, for Wuna, we not understand what would they talk about digitizing information and other operations in the country. Now, for make internet service, be provided to the people where they go afford and where go be easy for use, so that school picking go get access to books them online, to research materials. Teachers then go able for teach them students them from home. You go able for make calls. Then kind of thing they for make your life easy. Now that Mr. Bar they talk about. We're in an area where some of we very highly interested. In fact, it make the country they go before very fast. And so, Mr. Bar, let's talk about some of the things that we, APC as an incumbent political party don't do in the country. And we talk about this because now then they in power right now. If now you've been there in power, we talk about you in this fashion as well. We talk about a country that is running on a democratic system. We'll get a national constitution and all of that. Now, what do you think personally, morally, about the fact that among all the political parties in Sierra Leone, we have one, when they're ready for choose their own leader, then they follow a dictatorial pattern, just like how they do now other countries that win a dictatorship, instead of allowing the people to vote for whether they go on for lead them party. Now, one great person or few people that they come together, they choose somebody. Now, I'm not saying that NDA you belong to, but morally, how you feel about that happening in Sierra Leone?
Well, Ibrahim, that's an APC question.
Right.
Then you need to ask somebody from the APC, why is it that then conduct them convention in that format today? They said they have a constitution, and their own constitution give them that guideline there. Now, for the NDA...
Mr. Bag, just a quick observation. The reason why I asked the question is, if you become president, I really want to know if there will be need for you to make any suggestions to even for review the constitution of Sierra Leone, for reflect that all political parties then for follow democratic process for choose the leader, because the national constitution supersedes all other constitutions. So that's why I was asking that question.
Right. Well, I tell you what. Every political party gets their own what they call a party constitution.
Right.
And also we in the NDA we get a party constitution. And so I don't know. I don't read the entirety of the APC constitution. So if not that's their own format, how then they do them and they think that's a democratic process? Hey, that's them. What I know one thing, Ibrahim Sharif, we as a political party, the NDA, held a convention, and anybody got an opportunity for vie for position, and the process was democratic. I believe in democracy. I believe say democracy in a roadmap to sustainable development of any country. Democracy in the help for building institutions. I believe say we need democracy in our judiciary. We need democracy in our civil institutions. And we need for help. We need for be able to provide the avenue where anybody has the opportunity for make them voice be heard. If they want stand for opposition, be able to have the opportunity to do that. And very important in democracy that we have to be inclusive. Looking at it from a national perspective, my own mindset, my own attitude going to Sierra Leone for this election is that I see competitive people where we all vie for the same position. But I believe say the issue would be about who has the best idea for charter the way forward for Sierra Leone. I strongly believe, say I have a better idea. I strongly believe that Sierra Leone need a new direction. I believe that I would be able to provide that. So I think we are going to give the people of Sierra Leone that choice. Let them look at we all. Let them look at we manifesto, as they call it in Sierra Leone. Let them look at we all will record them. And at the end of the day, it is the ballot box. At the end of the day, watching the people of Sierra Leone, who that they vote for, and they will be the ultimate winner. And to me, I believe say that's not even the call democracy.
Right. And so, Mr. Ba, if you happen to be the next president of Sierra Leone, you will be inheriting a government where you don't amass a lot of debt. Now, some of we know say from 2007, where the SLPP they hand over government to the APC, they don't negotiate with all the one that will be giving money on loan. Then forgive all with debts, will not be get one green debt. But right now, Sierra Leone don't get debt up to about $3 billion and more. And so you get for inherit that one day. I mean, when we talk about infrastructure development, the roads they don't make with and they claim, credit for. We just hear quite recently the presidential candidate of the APC, when I be the governor of the Bank of Sierra Leone, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, they talk say for every 1 kilometer of road where they construct in Sierra Leone, it will cost about $1 million. And here again, we also during the constitutional crisis in the country, where they passed judgment against the elected vice president. Now it don't take that case now ECOWAS and it asks for $210 million. Now all the money they are now debts the way you get for inherit. And Sierra Leone don't get that kind of money. How you go able for navigate your way through then debts there as president for able for take care of these things amicably?
Well, Ibrahim, first of all, debt management therefore be a central part of my government.
Right.
I think say all the succeeding government, and I therefore give credit to President Kaba because he worked very hard for him for eliminate a lot of debt through the debt elimination process where they get the HIPC, what they call, where in fact we will get down to about 100 million. So what thing they do, and they follow that template there. I want you view as they know one thing. A country's economic strength is also determined by its debt ratio. The ability of that country there for able make do and trust say when they get that sovereign guaranteed credit there that then they able to pay. So because then they put we on what they call the international credit rating system. Countries like Botswana, Rwanda, now because they get a very impressive international credit rating system, they're able to bring a lot of infrastructural development because they're able to get loans, okay, at a very low interest. they're not able to get loans them what we call like what we they get in a high concessionary loans them. Loans that are very, very expensive. In fact, if you look at the loans amount the way they pay, do you know say both domestic and international, just the interest alone, you talk about 300 to 400 billion loans. That interest alone, we're able to take that money there, we fund the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Agriculture, 5, 6 department ministries there. Imagine that. So what you need to do, I get a debt elimination strategy. The strategy is here. First of all, what you have to do, I look at how we obtain loans then. I make sure if we obtain loan, not just because we need the money, I look at the interest rates, okay? So that if we get the loans then they, I know say we able to pay for them within. So the first thing what I do now for change that culture there. For say I just go take money, I don't care after we left, now the one them behind me. No. I get to make very responsible decisions then for work for eliminate the debts then. Because when you reduce the debt, you're able to eliminate that debt there, you get that international credit rating. In fact, investors then, now that they tell and say you na a very attractive country for let them come, for let them even can invest there. Okay? Because like I always don't say on national TV in Sierra Leone, when Toyota company one can Sierra Leone for can invest or other small medium companies then one can for can, then they run what they call a risk analysis report. You know what's interesting? People outside Sierra Leone, international companies, international governments, they know about Sierra Leone than me and you. Do you know that? Wow. They know about Sierra Leone more than me and you. So these people run a risk report, and when they look at that, they see a country with a high debt ratio. They see a country where we not even get a judicial structure where we're able to settle commercial dispute. It discourage them from coming to Sierra Leone for invest. So the debt would be one focus where we work on for reduce. Number one, fiscal management responsibility. We get for cut down how we spend. We spend so much than how much we receive. Look at we budget after budget. How much we spend? Okay, in more than how much we receive. So we go get what you call a balanced budget system, wherein we spend less, we earn more. Okay, with that, we able for begin to pay for some of the debts there. I'm sorry, and able for reduce them. And then able for get an international credit rating, and able for compete, and begin to tell investors and say, look man, Sierra Leone is a very good place for you to come and do business. In fact, Sierra Leone is ready to offer you capital investment. We even tell Sierra Leoneans then, we the one come, say look, this is not the Sierra Leone of yesterday. If you come to Sierra Leone, my government is ready to match match credit loans to you if you want to invest, as long as you are able to provide investment. So it's all about fiscal responsibility. It's all about a culture of driving down this debt issue. Okay, then we'll go see how we'll get a very resilient economy, and then we're able to provide the investments then what we people then deserve, and then improve their lives.
Right. And so, my family, for Wuna no understand the international credit rating, very important. Where Mr. Bade talk about that's now the countries then where would they go all money as debt. If we're not able for pay the debt, then we rating they go down. So next time, where the country they need for go borrow money, we then pull that rating, then they see say we not they pay debt, they not they ever give you money again. The people then go suffer. That's what Mr. Bade is talking about. For let we able for just properly present Antona. And so, Mr. Ba, let we talk about, you know, your political party in Sierra Leone. You know, waiting you go able for tell we based on the fact that in Sierra Leone, majority of the one the way they vote, then they vote there on sentiments, and some of them sentiments them now either on tribal line or regional lines. You know, people that way you go school with, you know, people that way you sabi, then kind with them they not they vote on the merit of who that get the ability for able for move the country forward. So what you go tell me about the strength of the National Democratic Alliance in Sierra Leone?
Yeah, you know, before I say that, Ibrahim, that's why education now other foundation we I get for embark on if I have an opportunity for serve the people of Sierra Leone.
Right.
Because you know, when people they vote on sentiment, they look and say this now my area, this now will come on from the same ethnic group. That they tell you the level of education. Because when you have an informed, educated mind, you get the ability for able for look say, you know what, despite this man I'm a brother, or despite this person here will come on at the same village or same town, but you know what, this person get a very good idea. That's why I think we need to invest in education. I agree with you. Unfortunately, this has been the history where people they vote based on ethnicity, based on religion. But you know what? Sierra Leone don't change you, Ibrahim Serif. A year or two ago, when I've been doing a radio program, I tell you, say, Sierra Leone don't change.
Right.
Let we know, forget, say, the WhatsApp, the internet.
Right.
I'm surprised to find out, say, we young people in Sierra Leone are very informed. The young people are very informed. They are watching CNN, they are watching Al Jazeera, then they read now WhatsApp. So there has been a lot of social mobilization going on. And so that's why I believe this election is a very defining moment for Sierra Leone. This election, it get to be about character, it get to be about the direction of Sierra Leone. And you know what? You and me sit on here, but the people that were then fed up, now the one that were in a Freetown, were then at the ground, then fed up past you and me. They want better life, they want a better school, they want a better hospital, they want something better, just like how then they see the young man at Lagos, what thing he able to do, or the one at Dakar. This alone man self, himself want something better. Right. So I think say this election therefore provide an opportunity for Sierra Leone for we begin the vote now based on issues, based on who that we believe say able make this country. It is going to be a very surprising election. I tell you this. This election is going to be a very surprising election.
Definitely.
This election will get for hearing from the young people then. And the message we then get for give this time, it will shock we all. I believe that.
And so plenty of the other political parties then they talk say, no matter who that win, whether na Mr. Mohamed Sibao, na Kande Yom Kelao, na Madabio, anyone suppose anyone will win, they not care, but they no one for let APC stay in power. Did they share that sentiment?
Well, again, that's why election is there. Okay. For me, my attitude, Ibrahim, is all the other political parties. They are my competitors.
Right.
I go and compete with them. I compete with them not as enemies. I compete with them, all of them, as brothers and sisters, because we all get that common nationhood day. My own attitude, my own style is about Sierra Leone, about who that gets the best idea, the best judgment for move that country day forward. That answer belongs to the people of Sierra Leone. Right. We all go to the ballots. Let the people then vote. When they vote, we not say Salon don't speak. Whoever then vote for, all of us would have win, we congratulate them. Would have lose, we say for the Lord next time. But the main issue there is democracy is about the people's will. Democracy is about making sure that the aspiration and the will of the people is protected and promoted. So that is my attitude going into this election. I am ready to compete. I have a strong faith and conviction that new party will create a very surprising outcome. And the 2018 by the grace of God.
Right. And so we get less than 21 days for let Parliament go remain in session at Sierra Leone, you know, as per the constitutional mandate. The National Electoral Commission just done introduce a statutory instrument in Parliament about the candidature fees for una they run for those offices, including the office of President, Parliament, Paramount Chiefs in Parliament, you know, local councils and all of that. Now, yes. I want to know the Parliament don't reject that statutory instrument. And people then get this fear for say, especially like civil society groups, then get the fear for say, if then delay, you know, discussing or debating on that instrument day and Parliament, you know, dissolve, then obviously that go interfere with the electoral process. Is that something that you are concerned about?
Yes, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about that. I think that candidature fee is excessive. I believe say the need for reduce them. At the last election, that issue came up, and what in the government do, they subsidize. I think the direction that we need to do, election democracy should not be expensive. The issue here is the people's will, the people's voice. I think say there has to be an understanding, say people have a right to vote and to be voted for. So I think say Parliament, it's onus on Parliament now for make them look at that bill there, make them work with NEC, because NEC don't submit them requesting, make them make a reduction, because all the political parties them, including my own party, don't express them deep concern about that. That we feel say that is expensive for a country like Sierra Leone, that is an overreach. So this is a concern that a lot of the political parties express to NEC, and that's why NEC submit. So my appeal here is Parliament give a look at this issue, not from a financial and monetary. I understand. I've been there at 98.1 with them executive, the publicity director, Mr. Masakwe, a very
all right, so family, look like we don't lost Mr. Ba a little bit. We don't lost him. Let me try to see if we could able to get him back on. We don't lost him for now, but let us see if we can bring Mr. Ba on for let it join we back again. Of course. All right, I don't know if you don't. I don't know if you know say we don't lost Sam. Let's see again if we can call him. All right, he's still talking and we seem to have lost him. All right, so it's still not working, ladies and gentlemen. When I just bear with we small, sometimes these things happen. And so we should be able to bring it back on. We should be able to get Mr. Ba back on to, or maybe let not be saying in computer go off. All right, and so definitely we don't lost Mr. Ba, but fun with him that not being just a quick interview. We'll decide for give Mr. Ba, and of course. Hopefully it will try for reconnect with we, but I'm doubting that. I'm doubting that very seriously. Well, anyway, let me try for go back to we main studio at this point. Let's see if we can go back to the main studio at this point. Yeah, so we'll get for try for go back and see how we can get him to actually come back. So one for Leone, stick around as we make that happen. Stick around with Will Nayaso. All right, so we don't lose Mr. Mohamed Siba, the presidential candidate for the for the National Democratic Alliance, the NDA, National Democratic Alliance. Kind of don't lose some, but we don't know what's happened. Maybe they lost power in another area or something.
Yes,
like
hello?
that. Yes, Mr. Ba.
Yeah, yes, it cut off, eh?
Yeah, it cut off. Okay, I'll call you back, let you tap on the video button so
okay.
we'll go for talk. Okay. Yeah, we should be able to bring him back. All right, he's still not picking up. I'm gonna get for beer small. Do you want to beer with we?
Yeah, hello?
Yes, Mr. Ba?
Yeah, hold on. Oh, yeah, hold on. Yeah, I'll go into the app again.
Right.
Yeah, hold on 1 minute. Okay. I get this me technician, Yale help me.
Right.
Where's the app here?
Now the video button, that's what he...
Okay.
The video button. Whenever I call you, you should answer with the video button.
It's on the internet as well.
Okay.
It's in your app. It's like all the way some.
In fact, when I be with small,
okay.
You know, we can go through the entire.
Okay, Sherry.
Let me hang up and call you. You answer with the video button instead of the phone.
Okay. Put it on.
Turn it on.
I hope you see. Oh, the battery is dead.
Oh, the battery is dead on the computer. Okay. So what we'll do probably. Let me hang up so you answer on your phone with the video button.
Okay,
so
okay.
We'll conclude. Yeah, we don't
because what happened? I think the laptop is dead.
The battery is dead. So what we'll do? Let us conclude the interview on your phone. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will call you back and answer with the video button.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So let's do that.
Okay, video.
Right. Okay, good.
Did you see me?
Yes, I see you.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and so we get for continue for just talk and then try for finish up. You know, I know say you've been deep and talk about something where everything went off. But so Mr. Ba, you get for left very soon for go back to Sierra Leone. What thing will be your final thoughts to people that way they watch you from around the globe? If there is something you want to say to them.
Well, I want to say, first of all, everybody as Sierra Leoneans will be proud that we do have a democratic process. That as a country, every election cycle, there is an opportunity for political parties for we participate in the election.
Right.
And they hope we go move them forward, meaning that we will get a free, fair election and very important, a violent free election. And I want to repeat that, a violent free election. We as a people, as a country, we don't get a history of violence. We know and we understand what violence means. Election now about who that get the best idea, who has the best vision for able to help the country go forward. The ballot, the power of the ballot lies in the hands of the people. Let the people vote. Let the institutions that are responsible for this protect that. Let it be independent. Let it be transparent. So that anybody, winners and losers, will be able to accept the outcome. I think when we do that, as a country and as a people, we make history. But if we resort to violence, if some of we believe because of this entitlement culture that I have seen in Sierra Leone, because there are political parties and individuals and people that believe that now they no more for rule Sierra Leone. if that kind of dangerous instinct continue, I think say no go serve with country. Because when you talk about democracy, it's when there is peace. When you talk about development, is when there is peace. So what do me want to say to the people of Sierra Leone? What do me want to tell to my other fellow candidates them and anybody? Let us take our message to the people of Sierra Leone. Let us send one message to them that no matter what we do, this process has to be peaceful. Okay, because when you define power is not the ability of you being the leader, but tell the people, say power lies in ideas. Power lies in what you were able to do for make the country. But not to a power way now about how much you destroy somebody physically. That is not power. So that's the one message. An election that is free and fair, an election that is violence free. Because as a country, as a nation, the last thing we want is violence. I say this because I know the mood. I say this as a candidate because I know the temperament, the temperature on the ground. So I then I appeal to any Sierra Leonean out there. But say, let we do the process, man. Let's have this process peaceful, democratic, and transparent, free and fair. Because such outcome, now go able to help we for build on the democracy we get. That's number one. And then secondly, the diaspora Sierra Leoneans there. And this is an appeal I make to now. Let we be engaged in the process in Sierra Leone. The development of most of the countries. If you want to talk about Ghana, you want to talk about South Korea, you want to talk about Rwanda, the engagement of diaspora Sierra Leoneans there. And we for be the champion for help or promote peace not alone. We for be the champion for help or promote democracy. It no matter what political party. And I think that the rich tradition, the National Democratic Alliance here. A political party in Sierra Leone for over 20-something years, Ibrahim, we have never had an incident of violence.
Right.
We have never had a case of violence. So I appeal to the other political parties that democracy is not about fighting. Democracy is not about building enemies. Because we are the same people, we are all Sierra Leoneans. I think if we encourage that type of culture, we encourage that type of attitude, and as leaders of political parties, we send that kind of message there. You know, at the end of the day, when the people of Sierra Leone vote at the ballot box, voting them, who that them vote for, who that them believe saying that the person way for lead that country there, we all go respect that. And I hope say that person there could be Mohamed Siba by the grace of God.
All right, Mr. Mohamed Siba, we want to tell you plenty thank you for your time and everything where you don't put into running for this highest office now Sierra Leone. We wish you all the best. We get for continue for follow on you for just see who say the cargo everything. Once more, thank you very much, and we wish you a safe travel. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, and once again, congratulations again to you, Sheriff Web TV station. Thanks for the great analysis, for the updates. I salute you for your achievement, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba. Thank you. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.